Welcome everyone to my first Edge of Fate build video. Today we're gonna go ahead and be taking a look at the brand new Hunter exotic chess piece, the Morai. This exotic is acquired via beating the Edge of Fate campaign on Legend difficulty, and I gotta say it is by far one of the most unique exotics for Hunter that we currently have in the game, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. We're gonna be pairing the Morai exotic with the Strand subclass, mainly abusing the aspect Whirling Maelstrom, so that we can have a lot of fun creating a whole bunch of spinning tangle Beyblades on the battlefield. So much so that when used correctly, you can even have around 3 to 4 Beyblades out on the field at once. We're also in the build go ahead and be using the aspect that creates a clone of ourselves while we dodge. We're also going to be using the fragment that will give us woven mail, so we'll have even more survivability while using this build. And on top of all that, this season's artifact actually does have a lot of mods that pair really well with Morai. Like for example, allowing our tangles to suspend enemies, and there's also one that, like, when you have woven mail, will increase your ability regen. So there's a lot of juice being put into this exotic this season, and it is obvious that the devs or bungie or whatever really put some love and care into this exotic. So now that I've gotten that all out of the way, let me actually transition and show you guys the exact things that you need to run to be able to pull off this build. Alright, so for the build, we're going to go ahead and be on the Strand Hunter subclass, and this is mainly for one thing. The reason why we are on Strand instead of Prismatic is for Whirling Maelstrom, and I'll get into that a little bit more in the future. For your dodge, you're going to want Gambler's Dodge, whatever jump you prefer, and then honestly, the grenade also is whatever you prefer. I just like Shackle Grenade because it's an easy way to create a tangle, pretty much. Aspects, you're going to want Whirling Maelstrom. This is what will absolutely carry this build. And then Threaded Spectre as well. You can opt into Widow Silk if you do prefer having a second grenade of your choice, but I like Threaded Spectre just because it adds a bit more of survivability to this build. For fragments, we're going to want Thread of Fury, Thread of Warding, Thread of Propagation, and Thread of Generation. For our exotic of choice, obviously the whole build is built around the Morai. This is the brand new Hunter chess piece exotic that you get from beating the Legend campaign of Edge of Fate. It comes with the exotic perk called Web Catcher, where a threaded spike can bounce the tangles, detonate them, and returning them immediately. Tangles detonated by threaded spike are re-woven and retrieved by it. Catches without a tangle will refund extra melee energy. Now basically what that means is where if we go and create a tangle like we have here, I throw my melee at it, I catch it back, it will then give me a second tangle which I can throw and basically use twice. It basically lets us just get double the effectiveness out of a tangle. Let's just duplicate it. Now once again though, the key point to remember is if you throw your melee at the tangle and it blows up, you do have to hit the melee button again and catch the actual threaded spike, or you're not going to get the duplication. Now for weapons, you're going to want your main primary to be some form of a Strand weapon. In my opinion, I tested this out with a bunch of different Strand weapons and Strand exotics, and I actually landed on the Final Warning as being my favorite. This thing truly just might be one of the most slept on exotics. Like it just, the amount of like critical damage it can output is insane. And another very important feature that this gun actually has that works really well with this build is its ability to create tangles because of this last line of text right here, where if you hit a marked target with a fully charged burst, it will unravel them, which therefore the unraveling will give them the Strand debuff, where if you read that right there in the tangle section, you need the enemy to be some sort of Strand debuff to create a tangle. So as long as you hit someone who's fully marked, it will in turn create a tangle. I guess that wasn't really a good example because these people have too low health that they just die in one shot. Let me get a beefier enemy out here real quick. So like this, if I fully charge it and he's marked, he then gets unraveled and boom, creates a tangle, which once again, catch threaded spike, get another one. Now for your energy slot, once again, it is up to you. There isn't a necessarily best answer. I was running a rocket sidearm for the longest, but what I ended up picking and landing on was a waveframe grenade launcher. This one's the Martyr's Retribution. I have it, I use it a lot because I have Envious Assassin and Incandescent. But the reason why I picked it specifically is because of one of the artifact mods. This one, Reciprocal Draw. Rapid non-sidearm final blows grant sidearms a period of increased damage for a short time upon next draw. So really, you want your secondary weapon to be some form of ad clear, because if you can clear out a lot of enemies with it, it'll boost whatever it'll boost your final warning pretty much. So if I go ahead and reset this, let's get a kill or two with this. You can see I have that reciprocal draws ready in the bottom left, which will then boost how much damage I do with my sidearms. So you can see that crit there did 523 on a full draw. Without the reciprocal burst, I'm doing 388. So that is a huge increase in damage just by using your secondary for a couple of kills. Looks like it only takes like 2 to 3 kills. Heavy, once again, up to you, just some form of DPS weapon. I'm using the Cataphract here with Envious and Bait and Switch, mainly just because it's a Strand build, so I wanted a Strand heavy just to fit the theme. In terms of artifact, this season has a bunch of artifact mods that boost the crap out of this build. So the must-haves are tightly woven. This build does use woven mail a decent bit, so you're going to use this to get increased grenade stats and class ability stats. Reciprocal draw, which is the one I just went over. Cauterized darkness. Now, I don't think you really use this too much, and this is only specific for like my build because I am using a solar weapon in my energy slot. So this will apply as well. This one is very important. Threaded Blast really just buffs the absolute crap out of your tangles. And in my opinion, the most important one is Tangled Web. This makes it where anytime you actually create / like spawn a tangle, it will suspend all the nearby enemies. So if we go over here and we'll kill this guy right here, we'll get the fully charged with this. So it should unravel him and create that. Although the blast wasn't too big, but you got to see it did suspend this guy. So yeah, very neat, very handy. Insanely good artifact mod this season. Well, season, I don't even know what we're technically calling them. Now for mods on our helmet, we're going to run Harmonic Siphon just so we can create orbs anytime we get kills with our final warning. Super Font, this mod got giga buffed. And, well, it didn't even necessarily really get buffed. It just became super important with the way stats work in Edge of Fate. So you're going to want to run this. And then I recommend hands-on as well. For gauntlets, melee font, once again, just to boost our melee stat, which is going to be very important for this build. And then heavy-handed so that we are creating orbs anytime we do get kills with our threaded spike. For chest piece, we just want a bunch of resistance mods, because I will say that survivability is one thing that can be looked at on a negative in this build. You have to play your life correctly, because there isn't a free get out of jail card in terms of playing your life. For boots, we're going to do Strand Weapon Surge. Might as well just throw it on for a quick little damage boost on our final warning. And I guess Cataphract or whatever Strand weapons you do plan on using. Then we're going to run Invigoration and Innovation just to get a little bit of ability boost whenever we do grab those Orb of Powers we get from our Strand kills and our melee kills. And finally, on class item, we're going to run Reaper. So every time we dodge, our next kill will grant us a beautiful little Orb of Power. Powerful Attraction. This is something that isn't necessarily needed. I just hate the need of going and grabbing Orbs of Powers, especially when they are needed for a very specific thing you're trying to do. So I am a huge Powerful Attraction fan. Just so every time I dodge, it just grabs anything in the area for me. Super simple, makes life way easier. And then simple bomber, just to get some grenade energy every time we use our class ability. Now, in terms of stats, I don't have the best armor in Edge of Fate. I did a vault cleaning and got rid of most of my good armor, and now I need to grind the brand new juicy armor of this. So ignore my stats, they're kind of a mess right now, but you do want to focus mainly on melee. You want to get this basically as high as you can. I wouldn't get it to 200 because we are running a melee font mod, but getting it as high as possible so that we get our melee back as quick as possible, and it does way more damage because we are going to want to be spamming that pretty much off cooldown. I have my second main focus into weapons, even though my stats not really that high because my armor isn't the greatest right now. This is just once again to boost the ever-living crap out of our weapons, mainly be it final warning, because of the sheer amount of damage it does. Good other options that I'm not really focused into is class and health. Class mainly just so we can create more clones of ourselves, and if you read that enhanced benefit, getting an overshield when you use your class ability can come in really handy. Health as well. We are creating a decent amount of orbs, and we want to be grabbing them with this build. So anytime you grab an orb, it will heal you a little bit, which is also beautiful. So yeah, that's it right there. That is the entire build. Let me go ahead and get a bigger picture for you guys. There you go. This right here is everything you're going to need. Now that I've shown you that, I'm going to cut into live footage of me using the build in a solo ops for you. All right, so we're going to be go ahead and taking this build into solo ops Skywatch. With the modifiers I have applied, we're going to be roughly around 21 light under. I'm just gonna run past these people. Actually, I genuinely have no idea if they are required to kill for this. Alright. I did put on the modifier where if I get hit by a melee, I get slowed. And I didn't know ahead of time there was a bunch of throw on this solo op, so not really looking like the smartest of moves at the moment. Go ahead and grab that orb, get ourselves some woven mail, get ourselves a little stat buff for our melee. I probably should have dodged there to get my melee back to get a second one of those, but it's okay. We'll remember for last time. Remember, with this build, I tend to have a habit where sometimes I'm afraid to shoot or use one of my tangles when I don't have a melee up, but you got to get comfortable with knowing that you're not going to be able to duplicate every tangle of yours. See, like that one right there is perfect to duplicate. We'll throw that over that way. Get a dodge, get our melee back, create a clone. We'll get an orb from that over there. Another tangle over here. That one's good to duplicate. I see another one over here. Duplicate that. Get that big explosion. Get our duplication of it. Throw it over there. Yeah, if you're a fan of the Beyblade Hunter aspect, you're really gonna love this exotic. I guarantee it. Let's get that going. I don't know why I shot that at them. That's obviously not gonna hit. See, I don't have a melee there, so we're just gonna have to throw that one. I have one now though for the next one that gets spawned. Throw it that way. This should give us a tangle. Yep. We're gonna dodge, get a melee back to duplicate that one. That one should drift over to that person, so I'm gonna throw it up there. Alright, pretty simple so far. I'm not really feeling the effects of being 20 light under, I'm gonna be honest. Now maybe it's just this solo ops is super easy, or this build is actually working as intended. Okay, that's a lot of people. Man, I really enjoy Strand, bro. I don't make enough Strand builds, but the just seeing the green things fly everywhere is so like cool and satisfying to me. All right, we're gonna do that. Bring this out. Proc bait and switch. Just melt him down until his barrier's gone. Cool. Oh, didn't mean to throw my melee there. It's okay. We pretty much already have it back based on our stats and like mods and stuff. So even if you do accidentally throw a melee out, yeah, you're fine. Put that there. Getting this skill should create a tangle. Boom. Blow that up. Duplicate it. Get one back. Throw it at the boss. Go ahead and proc bait and switch again. Beautiful. We are cooking. We're gonna throw a melee out there. Oh, boom. We got the lucky bounce where it bounced back to the tangle, so we got to duplicate it. And I think it's just time to fry this guy. We're gonna let our no, where are you guys going? Oh, I guess the unraveling killed him, but whatever. All right, sweet, simple, effective. I didn't really stress out at all. The flawless run too. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that result. I'm proud. This build is very fun. Bet. So that right there was live footage of this Strand build using the brand new exotic Morai, or Morai, however you pronounce that. So that right there was a lot of fun. I do really enjoy this Morai exotic that you get from beating the campaign on legend difficulty. It was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, when they first showed it off in like the Edge of Fate, like Vidocs or whatever you call them, the live streams, I wasn't really the biggest of fans, but I had some fun with it, especially combined with Whirling Maelstrom, the Beyblade Strand aspect. You can cook up some cool stuff with this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you liked the kind of like build video first and then the like live gameplay towards the end, just so you can see like raw footage of the build better. So please let me know. Obviously, let me know any other Edge of Fate builds you would like to see. I am slowly but surely getting my Titan and Warlock up to speed, because I've really just been playing Hunter this past year probably. So hopefully I'll get some Titan and Warlock builds on the way. But yeah, without further ado, all you fine ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day.